The joys of motherhood are well documented. There are few things as powerful as bringing new life into this world and shaping the minds of a young generation. It's a big responsibility that's often described with flowery words like tenderness, happiness, and unconditional love. And while these portrayals are accurate, Dr. Margot Lowy noticed through her own experience that there was a whole other side of motherhood that's willfully ignored. She began a research project about the complex emotions, good and bad, that come with being a mother. A mission that felt scandalous to those around her.
I remember I was with a group of friends, it was a long time ago, and they said, "You're going to write about what? How can you do that? How can you even think that?" And I could hear I could kind of sense this saying, "What kind of a person are you? What kind of a mother are you?"
For many, putting mother and resentment in the same sentence can feel disrespectful. But to Lowy, we're doing a disservice to women by only focusing on one side of the emotional spectrum.
I talk a lot about repairing failure or repairing mistakes. And I think mothering is an experience. You make a mistake, you fix it up. You make a mistake, you fix it up. And if you can fix it up like 1 out of 10, you're doing pretty well. But if you don't acknowledge something, then you're not able to repair it and fix it up. So this is really, mothering. One of the phrases that I've come to, which I really like, is mothering is a messy, interrupted, and loving experience. I don't think many people are told that before they become a mother. And it's exactly what it is.
And so she set out to understand the idea of maternal ambivalence, which acknowledges all of the feelings that come with motherhood, such as joy, love, fear, and yes, resentment.
From what I understand, we as mothers do have moments often of hating feelings that are often connected with that example, fear, but that it's very difficult to talk about hating moments. That word is very difficult. I think that mothers do have it, but we're really too scared to admit it.
And that may come from the picturesque version of motherhood that's continually upheld by society. We're told that this experience is perfect and wonderful, and that becomes the norm. Lowy calls this the maternal ideal.
There's something about mothering, it's almost venerated to this height that a mother is like someone who is so wonderful and someone who is so pure and so giving. And yeah, that is true. But we have another side. So if a mother thinks that she can only or need only be this way, then what is she going to feel about herself when she has those feelings?
Lowy says this idea is so ingrained in society that often when mothers feel anything else, like frustration, many believe it's an abnormal response.
Before you have a child, you kind of have this idealized vision of how you're going to be as a mother, that you're not going to lose your temper, that you're going to be able to stay in control, that it's going to be a wonderful experience with a few hiccups. Don't get me wrong, it is the most wonderful experience, mostly to have a child, but there are many sides to this. Maternal ambivalence, it's a bit of a taboo topic. And what it is doing is it's encouraging mothers to engage with all their feelings, maybe resentment and their love, panic and patience.
Lowy helps mothers explore this more in her new book, Maternal Ambivalence, The Loving Moments and Bitter Truths of Motherhood. She hopes her work will help women feel empowered to accept all of the emotions that come with motherhood.
We're not meant to be perfect. There's a great psychoanalyst pediatrician in the 1950s. His name was Donald Winnicott. He wrote beautifully about mothers. And what he said is that mothers are human. They're not machines.
Lowy says that to acknowledge the complexities of this journey is to offer compassion to yourself. The dark feelings have value, and pushing them down won't make them disappear. It'll only prevent mothers from knowing the full experience of having a child. What's interesting about the taboo of these negative feelings is that it's one of the only relationships in our lives that has these boundaries.
You're allowed to have those feelings in any other relationship. It's okay with your partner, with your parents, with your friend, with your person at work, with the person in the street. That's allowed. With mothering, there's this certain societal pressure attached to mothers that we're meant to be selfless and we're meant to always put our child first and always be on the lookout for our child.
And while that's of course a big component of motherhood, Loie says it's too simplistic to encompass the whole relationship.
All mothers have these days, these moments when it's just too much, when it's like either tedium, when they've got a child who is doing not what they're meant to do and not what you want. And this goes on throughout one's life. But if you think, say, of a new mum with a baby who's up all night because this baby won't settle, I mean, there's feelings attached to that. And I think for new mothers, it's for the first child, it's particularly confronting because most mothers probably think that it's going to be smooth or that we'll be able to cope with what's given to us. And when there's no normalcy attached to these other feelings, it is so, I'd say, injurious to the mother because she feels like there's something wrong with her. And that's no good for her. Plus, it's no good for the child.
Loie experienced this with her first two kids, always trying to live up to these impossible standards.
When I look back, I was very rigid. There's no way that I would have entertained one thought about what I'm saying now. No way. I would have thought that I had to be selfless, calm all the time. And when I wasn't, I would label myself as not being a good mother, or I just didn't have the capacity to understand it.
But after the birth of her third child, something shifted. Suddenly, Loie was more open to go with the flow of life. Instead of punishing herself when negative thoughts popped up, she allowed them to help her appreciate the good feelings even more. With most things in life, you can't truly value the good times without also acknowledging the bad, a concept that runs true even in motherhood.
Otherwise, you're not having your full experience. You are neglecting such an important part of your life, and your child picks everything up. So if you're not genuine, they're picking it up. And I'm not saying that you need to go into detail with a 6-year-old or a young child, but I'm just saying that one, as a mother, one needs to be fairly genuine.
And in order to truly create change within society, Loie says that mothers need to stop upholding this taboo within their own communities.
We collude with it ourselves. We think that we shouldn't talk about this stuff and it's not right. But so we're a big part and we have to take responsibility for this. And so my work is about opening it up and allowing mothers to have these conversations and to be thoughtful about their feelings and that it's okay to have all these different feelings. And it's actually what mothering is and that we're human.
As Loie showed earlier, discussing this topic with friends isn't always going to be easy, but nothing will ever change if we keep pretending the negative feelings don't exist.
Really think about them and really be careful not to attach the taboo and the silence to it. I think that's a really important message. And how do we do that? We have to think about it. We have to talk about it.
Loie's book, Maternal Ambivalence, is available now wherever books are sold. You can find more information about Dr. Margot Loie and all of our guests on our website, radiohealthjournal.org. For more behind the scenes, follow Radio Health Journal on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Our writer-producer is Kristen Farah. Our production manager is Jason Dickey. I'm Greg Johnson.